Well, here we are, friends. 107.7 The Bone, Chasta and Baby Huey. Stupid excited to have our friends in the studio. Red Voodoo, who we've been a fan of for a very long time. Very, very long time, years. Dino and David. Yes, thank you for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so full disclosure, we brought you guys in to do Bone Breakers, to do a live song, acoustic, stripped down song. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, you know what, while you're here, can we just like sit and chat and do an interview and hang?
Just friends catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome. Have you been to the Bone Studios before? I don't remember. No? Never?
First time.
Wow, that's cool. Is it everything you thought it would be? Shitty chairs and everything?
Everything and more. I think the shitty chairs make it that much better. That much better.
Yeah, our listeners know we have really, really crappy chairs here. But, you know, radio it's tough times.
I told you your Christmas presents.
He's going to come rolling in like Office Depot boxes.
Yeah.
Pushing in.
You know, 4 members of the band, 4 chairs, checks out.
Thank you. We appreciate that. So, yeah, we started introducing the Boneheads to you guys. Now, I want to go back. Remind me what year you guys started.
Oh, man. 2019, I would say.
2019, then.
2019, yeah.
Okay.
2019. That
Okay.
kind of realm.
Yeah, I think the first time I heard you guys, somebody sent you, and how old were you at the time?
Oh, man. I think it was like probably 17, 18.
Okay, that's why I asked, because I remember I looked it up and I was like, this is a 17-year-old kid? Like, what? I couldn't believe the voice coming out of you.
Thank you.
I mean, at any age. But especially at 17, because you had so much confidence. I think that's what it was. It was like, oh no, okay, he's raring to
It's half
go.
the battle,
Is it? I mean, how much in your head are you? How do you get out of your head? How's all that stuff work out?
I think you just got to really put yourself out there, and if you're just confident and just more just having fun, people are gonna pick up on that.
Yeah.
I mean, and but as far as getting in your head, it's a really hard thing, to get in your head before a show, a lot of pressure, a lot of people expecting, the best out of you, you know, and, but I think you have to get in a certain mindset and go, you know what, I'm going to go out there, be myself, and it's all going to be okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that specifically, be yourself, because that's so important. We were just talking, was it when we were talking to Chris Cale of Five Finger Death Punch, when we were talking about being who you are, like just like stepping into who you are and like owning your own stuff. I think it was during that
I think it was
chat.
him. Yeah.
Because he's like, you got to be who you are, because anything else.
Being authentic. Yes.
Authentic, because anything else is just disingenuous.
Yep.
That's a big thing for us too, is authenticity. Being able to be ourselves.
Yeah. It's important, because anything else you just come off as a fraud, or just kind of icky.
Act. Yeah, or icky. Icky.
I mean, I hate to oversimplify it. I just feel like the ick, isn't that what the kids say?
It is. That's why I laughed.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that's what comes off when you're not being authentic and genuine. It just feels kind of like, what am I watching? But yeah, no, I remember whenever we found you guys and I started talking about, far before I'd ever even talked to you guys or had a DM or anything, I remember saying, like, you got to check out this band. Hell, this was before I was PD. This was before we had Sound Waves on the air. Yeah, because it was right around the time that you started. Somebody sent me, hey, check this out.
So wait, so I'll play full, like, hey, give me the full history, because I know Chasta said you and Dino, you guys had a chat before on Soundwaves TV. So, but for our boneheads who are maybe watching this on the Bones YouTube channel, don't know the full history. So you guys started in 2019, right? Roughly
2018, roughly around there.
Was it with the two of you guys, or how's the early stages? How that came to be?
It's a
convoluted timeline.
It is. It really is, So like I said, my dad took me to go see my first concert, which was Sammy Hagar in the Circle in South Lake Tahoe. And after that, I got the itch. I was like, I want to be a vocalist. I want to be a singer. I want to do that, And it was just that infectious spirit, of enthusiasm and positivity that I was like, that's what I want to do, And I just like the songs too. The music was great.
Yeah, that too.
That too. But that was the main thing. Going back to the, being authentic, But then I wanted to form a band, and we met. I met my first drummer at a Y&T concert in Sacramento.
Okay.
And he knew David.
Oh, he knew you. Okay.
Oh,
David,
right?
Okay.
And it's funny, my dad was playing bass. He was always the in and out bass player kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to find guys. We're now in our early 20s, And but in high school, no one likes rock music. No one really was into it.
Yeah.
Is that how I was going to ask for you guys? You both grew up in the Sacramento area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing high school in the late 2010s.
It was all Kanye.
I was gonna say,
Yachty and all these
Drake, right? Yeah.
Wow, because to put in perspective, because I graduated high school in 2002, so
you don't have to date us like that.
but back then, just Chats and I were talking about this the other day, Limp Bizkit, Blink-182, Green Day. I mean, like a lot of that new metal stuff was, Korn. Deftones, all that stuff was very popular in a lot of punk rock bands. So, I mean, back in my day in high school, it was like rock was still cool with MTV and stuff. But I can only imagine for you guys, you seem like a really rare breed to be high school rockers.
Well, and the thing is like, no one listened to it. Now imagine trying to find people to play it.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like even, it was so hard. So, that's when I was going out to venues and trying to just find like, oh, that guy has long hair. Maybe he plays an instrument.
Seriously?
That's how. I'm not even joking.
I didn't know that part. So when you say you met your drummer at Y&T, you literally walked up to a kid that looked like he might like rock?
Yeah. I was like, do you like rock? He's like, yeah, I like rock. I'm like, well, you're at Y&T. Of course you do. So he knew Dave, and him and Dave played. How'd you meet the first drummer, Nick? How'd you meet him?
A while ago, man. It was like, we were like 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pool party thing.
I've never felt so old.
So it was me, Dave, and Dave, and actually, when my dad wasn't filling in, when we couldn't have a bass player, Dave actually started out on bass guitar.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So Dave started out on bass.
You took Dad's spot.
Yeah. So he started out on bass, and there was another guitar player at the time, and he had, other commitments. So, and then David was like, hey, I play guitar. I'm like, what? And then you busted out Eruption at practice.
Stop. You started with Eruption?
Yeah, that's what he started with.
I know that I wasn't messing around.
Right? Wow, overachiever. That's amazing. Your head must have exploded.
Oh, I was just like, why are you playing bass? Why didn't you say this as soon as you walked in, He's just over here just playing, single notes and watching this other guitar player do his job, basically.
I'm just thinking of, was it Stephanie on Full House? Nobody asked me.
Yeah, nobody.
Sorry, another data reference.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, it's far too young for that reference. That's amazing. So then you slid over to guitar.
Slid over to guitar, right.
Okay.
And then Andrew, the rooster,
yes,
he found him on Craigslist.
Okay.
Craigslist had young guitar player, wants to be in a band. Perfect. So he came in, had to learn 40 songs of, our set and everything.
Wow.
But no, so that's kind of how we formed, and then we started in 2019 going ham, just playing everywhere, anywhere we could just get a show.
Yeah.
Building up our resume with, venues around town.
Yeah.
And, and then 2020 hit, and it was like the whole world shut down.
Well, that was fun. Yeah.
But I think, honestly, if that didn't happen, and it was a really bummy situation globally, all that stuff, but I think if that didn't happen, I don't know if the band would be together still. I mean, those are really a formative year in 2020, 2021, we really were like, all right, we want to be an original band. We got to take this seriously.
Right, because you were doing all covers in the beginning.
Doing all covers.
Right.
So we took the influences from our covers and really tried to write 2 songs that were, our first little step.
Yeah.
And that's when Frank Hannon from Tesla, I messaged him and said, hey, here's two demos, and he produced those 2 songs, and we worked on his ranch to pay for it for a whole summer with horses.
Now, this is the story I love so much, and I want you to tell the long version for anybody who doesn't know, because this is incredible. So let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Your dad knew Frank in some capacity of Tesla?
So he literally knew him for a day.
Okay.
So my dad, literally for a day, and I'll tell you this too. So he did demos with his old Sacramento band.
Okay.
In the early 90s, and Frank came in and recorded it. Boom, 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 because he was super into recording even in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And then he was gone. So growing up, my dad always said, hey, Frank, even before I was into music, it was my dad's claim to fame. Like, Frank Hannon from Tesla recorded my
So you grew up
stuff.
hearing that story?
Yes, but I never listened to Tesla, didn't know anything about Tesla. I was like, my dad jammed with this dude. Cool,
Wow.
And then I was like, well, I'm into music now, so might as well just reach out to him. And he listened to the stuff. And
so you sent him a DM?
it was just on Facebook Messenger,
This is exactly what we were just talking about this with Chris Kale, Five Finger Death Punch. He sent, he was a bit buzzed. This was before he was sober.
Yeah.
He had a couple, and he was like, they need a new bass player. I'm going to slide into the DMs. And that's exactly what he just took the shot.
Yeah. I was in religion class and, history class, and boom, there you go.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Like, way to not overthink it.
Well, it helped I didn't know him, Maybe if I knew the history of Tesla, who they were, I just like...
Right. You were like, this is just the guy my dad talks about. It wasn't like...
So that's what I...
There was no gravity.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no,
I get that.
And then I just took that, and then everything I do, for the band or anything is just with that mindset. Just... Yeah.
You really are. Like, I love it. I love how you just ask the question. You're like, can we play here? Do you have a connection here? Like, you and I have gone back and forth a ton about, bookers, promoters, venues, whatever it is.
Worst you get is a no.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
well,
it.
and I think, you know what, for musicians, young or old musicians listening right now, take note of that. Because you're not going to get what you don't ask for, right? And you never know. And I think people are afraid. Some of it is lazy and or entitlement, right? And I say this to a lot of people. It's not going to fall out of the sky and land on your lap.
No, not at all.
You've got to work for it. You got to work the system. You have to find the connections and ask the questions. And I think the bravery that you guys have shown in doing that is really what's helping tremendously. But then you back it up with wild ass talent. I mean, obviously, if you sucked, you wouldn't be here.
Right, that's true.
I mean, just keeping it real.
We appreciate the realness.
I mean,
You suck, just tell me.
I'm just being real.
So for you guys, when the world started opening back up, was that when you're like, okay, let's start playing some shows now? Because it seems like you took advantage of the downtime to hone your craft, get the demos going. What is the scene like in Sacramento? Because, Chasta and I live down here in the Bay Area, and, we keep track of what goes on in Sacramento from afar. And there's been times throughout the years we're like, man, Sacramento seems like it has a really cool scene, some really cool venues, a lot of cool bands that we like, a lot of the, quote, active rock bands. A lot of times we'll skip to San Francisco or Bay Area in general and go play Sacramento. So, it seemed like for years, Sacramento gets a lot of cool shows. That makes sense for a lot of touring bands. But for you guys as an upcoming local band, was it tough finding places to play, or is there a lot of cool spots for local bands to play at?
There is. I think not so much now. I think 2018, 2019, there was a ton more because business is down after COVID, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I say we have our local spots we'll hit up every year just to jam and stuff, during 21, 22 era. But the correct me if I'm wrong, but the scene is you got your cover band, tribute bands, and then you have an underground Deftone scene.
Oh,
okay,
super super cool.
That makes sense.
We're big Deftones fans.
Oh yeah, really, but our sound. We played one show with 18,
they all looked at you
like, we're going, why are these guys on the bill?
Right. What is this? Yeah.
And that was
because you guys are effing amazing in so many ways, but you're not Deftones.
No, not at all.
It's not even in the same realm.
Apples and oranges, right? Not even that.
It's just the sound.
Apples and zucchini. I don't know.
Sonically,
I love it,
it's a different sound.
Sonically, yes, it is a different sound. But it's really cool now because we really pride ourselves on being Northern California rock. That's kind of our whole shtick, our whole kind of thing. As far as I think, I don't know if I'm right, but we're the only up and coming young rock and roll classic rock sounding band I think in NorCal. I think
that's
really
I think so. Yeah, because
we early on started comparing you guys to the Gretas, the Dirty Honey. You're wearing the shirt right now, which was funny when you walked in because I thought the same thing. There is that sort of throwback, nostalgic classic rock wave of music. There's not a lot of it here in Northern California, so I would definitely say that you're heading the right.
I was gonna say because we have some friends in the Sacramento area, but they're more in pop punk band. Ada Lemon, Halibut Head, those guys we've met over the last couple of years. So it
does seem like there's a pop punk big
scene up there, and that's something they were telling me. There's a pretty cool little underground young punk scene up there. So for you guys, so it's cool. You guys seem like start, quote, paying your dues, as they say, playing around locally. I mean, for Chasta and I, just the fact that you guys became besties with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, yeah, man.
Incredible. It is amazing.
And you told us the story privately, but just that night, how you guys came to be. I mean, amazing if you want to share just that whole Sammy Hagar.
So, no, of course, and it's kind of cool because it kind of is continuation off of the, we're working with Frank. So Sammy got wind of us through Kenny, who is his, bodyguard during the 5150 days and just, all throughout 5150 all the way to.
I would say Big Kenny, right?
Big Kenny, yeah.
But not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore.
He's littler Kenny.
He's littler.
He's
medium Kenny now.
Medium Kenny,
He's so great. He's so awesome. And so the whole Sammy thing, I went down to Cabo in 2020. We played Red Voodoo's played in Cabo like 3 times, Dave?
2 or 3 times. Yeah.
2 or 3 times. And that was the first time I got to meet Sammy. Was in Cabo because Kenny said, "Hey, there's this band and they really love your stuff and the singer kind of dances like you, and the guitar player rips, got that Eddie Van Halen kind of flair to him, and went down to Cabo, and it was still COVID. It was still COVID during that time, and they did an acoustic show. Went down for the birthday bash, got canceled because of COVID. And Sammy's walking down the steps, and I was just one of the lucky people that were just in the building, and pulls out his acoustic guitar, sees me, and starts playing Red Voodoo by off of his album. We named our
band after.
Named our band after. And I was like, "Oh, Dino McCord's in the house. We'll play Red Voodoo." I was like, "Is this really happening?" First time seeing the legend in the flesh. And
he knew who you were.
He knew
because of his bodyguard.
Because of Kenny sending him videos.
And Kenny knew of you guys how?
We were busking on the street in Old Sacramento, right in front of a round table, and we were playing "Finish Where You Started" by Van Halen.
Yeah.
And it was actually, it's all convoluted with the whole story.
Yeah.
The guitar player of the Cabo Wabo house band in Roseville.
Okay.
Or not the Cabo Wabo, Beach Barn Grill. One of his establishments.
Yeah.
One of his many establishments. Recorded us doing "Finish Where You Started." Sent it to Big Kenny. Kenny sent it to Sammy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how it went. Right.
Wow.
So anyway, Sammy invited me up to do Eagles Fly, and this was 3 or 4 days after Eddie Van Halen passed away. And I wasn't even thinking. I was like, "Oh, let's just do Finish Where You Started. You got acoustic guitar, let's roll." Yeah. So we did "Finish Where You Started," and then he kept me up there for Eagles Fly. And Eagles Fly is my favorite song for that reason, because that was the first time. But anyways, ever since then, Sammy, we were like, all right, got those 2 singles out, Rise Up and Bring It Back. We do it, Frank. We've honed our craft. Let's do a record,
Okay.
So Sammy hooked us up with Jameson Durr, who did Sammy's Space Between record, worked on some Chicken Foot here in the studio in San Rafael. And we wanted to do, the 5-song EP that we're promoting right now is what Jameson Durr recorded it at Hyde Street Studios here in San Francisco.
Amazing.
And I love the Bay Area, so in Sacramento they support us, but you guys really support us.
we dove straight into the Red Voodoo pool.
You did. You really did. Thank you so much.
That's such an incredible. I mean, it really is. I say this a lot, but there's just moments in time where life is just playing out how it was meant to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that lightning in a bottle,
100%.
Manifest destiny, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very spiritual. Yeah, exactly. And I just think there are, Lamont here on The Bone likes to call them fickle fingers of fate. It's like where you can look back at your life and you can see these big moments in time that change the course of your life.
Canon events.
Yeah, that's canon events. Yeah, exactly. I do want to go back real quick, though, because I feel like we breezed over something very cool with Frank from Tesla. You were so broke, you paid off the recording on the ranch.
Well,
yes.
Thanks.
Isn't that what it was? That's what Dino's told me.
Yeah.
Is that what, you didn't have the money, because I'm sure it was expensive.
We were, we were
just kids.
You were kids.
Just kids.
We were. We were right out of high school. I just graduated.
Yeah,
they were still in high school.
Yeah, we were still in high school.
I was scraping together. Mom, don't listen to this. I was scraping together lunch money to buy beer on the weekends at at that age. So you don't have studio money. So did he just be he just offered you can work on my ranch and just work it off?
It was a trade. Yeah, it was a trade, and it taught us. We were building fences out there.
Okay, what kind of chores was it?
I grew up on a ranch. I know all this shit. Well, it's tough.
So we weren't around horses and shit, So we weren't around them at all. I wasn't, at least. Dave, no. No, we don't have horses. So it's our first time being around horses, right? So he's throwing, kids right out of high school in these big pens with horses, all right? So I'm like, okay. So there's this horse. Actually, Dave and I, it was just Dave and I, you know, because him and I were there every single day. You know, Andrew was finishing up high school, so he had to be on Zoom.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so Fancy was like a 2-year-old horse.
Fancy. Of course it was fancy.
Fancy. And, you know, David's got the wheelbarrow and he's, you know, dumping this shit wherever it goes. And I'm out there scooping it up. And I don't know, maybe it was my hair, who knows, but Fancy looked at me and went,
oh no, oh
and
God.
charged me.
Oh my God.
Charged me. I'm running, right, for my life. David's not even here. I'm running. I jump over the fence, hit my, you know, hair's all in like horse shit and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I look up and there's 2 horses just staring at me.
Oh my God.
What are you
Wait,
doing?
where
You
was
know.
David in all this?
I just look over and I see a big cloud of dust. And Tina's like, dude, I almost just got hit by a horse.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. No one was
Holy.
out there. Yeah, and I'm not, you know, I love animals, so I'm not afraid of, you know.
Right.
She was just having a bad day. You know? I don't know what it was. But
That's
no,
scary.
it was scary. It really was, you know.
Have you ever heard the Reba McEntire song Fancy?
No.
You should do a rock and roll cover.
There you go.
should do a rock.
Yeah.
Come on, Fancy, don't let me down.
Just a slideshow of his horse.
This should be your tribute to the horse that didn't kill you.
Right.
A rock and roll. That's your homework when you leave.
She's older
Look
now.
up
I'm
Fancy.
older now. you
Yeah,
know.
right.
We could.
You hugged it out?
Yeah, we hugged it out.
Okay,
we met the moon.
good. That is wild. Well, you know, bless Frank. I mean, besides you almost getting killed, bless him for allowing you guys to like, okay, I'm not going to make any money off of this situation, but first of all, you're learning life skills,
Right,
how to build
exactly.
fences and be a ranch hand. I
Right.
grew up on a ranch, so I know that's really tough work.
Oh, yeah.
And it instills a lot of work ethic in
Totally.
people.
100%.
So he's giving you that, but also he's giving you this really great opportunity.
Yes.
So God bless him. Do you
Oh,
keep in
yeah.
touch with him?
Not so. He's been torn and everything.
Yeah.
So not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But
He
just-
worked with On Off. We were talking about. He worked with them on one of their albums recently.
Oh, right
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Cool.
He's
Yeah.
a really cool guy.
But no. I mean, we wish him the best and everything. And that was just such a fun time. It really was.
It's
It
such a
was
cool part of your story.
It really is.
Like
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
gets that story. I mean, you've had this run in, this connection with Frank, and then with Sammy. So you guys really recently, a couple months ago, opened up Sammy's place in Vegas.
Yeah.
How was
at
that
the-
experience?
Oh, it was so cool. It was at the Palms in Vegas, and Sammy opened up his like what I like to call his booze aquatic park. You know,
That's a great way to put it.
it was such a great time. And
What
you know,
hotel is that at? It's at the Palm. Is it the Palms?
Yeah, the Palms.
Palms. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I talked about it on the air because I was so excited. I was like watching your stories on Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
we're
this
just
is so
like,
neat.
Oh, it's so cool. And the thing about Sammy, you know, honestly, is like he hates to rehearse. Hates it. So that puts us in a weird position because we had no rehearsal with Sammy, you know. So we are always on our toes with, and it's cool. It's great. It actually makes us better musicians, better people. But you know, we don't know what song, you know, Sammy's gonna be like. Oh, let's do this one. And it's
So
like,
you
okay.
just know. So you're just like, okay, we have to know every song he's ever.
We know these songs, and we're like, we're listening to him tell his speech, and he's like, okay, what's he gonna say?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some rock candy.
All right, then you gotta
all right, let's
start
do
the
it.
song.
And you just holy shit.
Right, and we're
my legs just went to jello thinking of that. That's terrifying.
And not only that, you know, when the times we play with Sammy, I always got to be like on my guard because I don't know when Sammy wants me to sing or is he gonna sing because we shouldn't sing at the same time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're all, you know, if you see, there's a couple of videos on YouTube of us doing heavy metal and Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy, and you'll see like I'm like
You're like, yeah.
scanning to see, okay, when do I come in, or you know, even endings or all that kind of stuff.
It's like point.
Right. I know. You, me.
But I mean, we just saw Sammy last week in St. Louis.
Oh,
We
that's
went out-
right.
We went out for his last show in St. Louis. 20,000 people
Oh,
for
my
the last show of the tour, and it really just put it all into perspective that like, you know, he is just a living rock god legend, and we're just so thankful that he's a huge, you know, in our corner supporter, and I really, you know, he's not handing, you know, he endorses us, says, you know, hey, you guys are cool, all that stuff, but he's not like giving it to us.
No, he's not giving you the keys to the kingdom.
No, and I don't. And that
He's making you work for it.
Exactly.
And God, I mean, that's great.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should
That's
be.
how. And everyone asks me. They go, Dino, why isn't Sammy getting you on the tour? Why isn't he? You know, why is Loverboy up there and not you? And it's because you know, we haven't earned it yet.
He knows you need to earn your stripes.
Exactly.
I mean, he's kind of become like an uncle to you guys, and
100%.
it would be very easy
Like
to
a
just
grandpa.
be like, yeah, you got to give him a little shit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I do appreciate that. I mean, look, would it be nice to cut corners? I mean,
Of
course, but like, what kind of story is that?
Right, it's
That's
just-
not paying for a record on a ranch and almost getting killed by a horse. That's not
Exactly.
that's not playing to. Every band should play a shitty gig where no one's there.
Of course.
And a handful of them at least. While it sucks, it's part of what makes you, I think, who you are.
Yep,
And he
100%.
knows that.
Of course, yeah.
And so I think
No one gave it to him. Why should he give it to us?
exactly.
Yep.
But he is caring for you guys. I mean, you can go.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
If you just go through Red Voodoo's Instagram, you can see like Papa Hagar over there is commenting.
Oh yeah, he's like,
And
you
he's
guys
like
rock.
cheering you guys on.
Oh, it's so cool. It'll just comment the
That's
funniest
sweet.
shit, and,
Yeah.
and it's super cool. And that's enough. Like that's just enough. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
People going like, oh, that's Sammy Hagar. Oh, that's
Wait a
rad.
minute. Yeah. Because
You
it's
know what
his
I mean?
stamp of approval.
Exactly.
That means a lot.
Which-
I mean, when he even said, he said it even on the Palm show, like we don't, there's little hints of Montrose there, but I think he really sees Montrose in us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he said. And that was
Okay.
huge. I'm a huge Montrose guy, Davis too,
Yeah.
and the whole band. But, it's just like, just to get that level of endorsement is just insane,
Yeah.
you know?
Nobody gets that. Yeah.
No, and it's really, and especially because, we started the band because of him and of Van Halen.
Right.
You know? I see him in concert, for the very first time with my dad, and next thing we know, we're buddies. It's
So
unheard of.
when you're hanging out with him, like, does he know that part of the story? Or are you like always trying to just chill and play
Well,
it cool?
I
Because I'm
took-
not very good at playing it cool
No,
at
not
all.
either. No, not at all. Sometimes I go overboard. But it was after, so we opened up for Sammy on his Crazy Times tour in 2022,
Right.
in South Lake Tahoe. So it is full circle moment. It was the place where I saw him for the very first time.
Wow.
That was just the show where he was like, "Hey, you want to open?" I'm like, "Okay." So I didn't want to, I announced it at the show. I don't think he heard, and I was almost choking up.
Yeah.
Like a little crybaby. But, after the show, I got to say, hey, man, that's, you're the reason why this band started. You're the reason why I sing. This was my very first concert. It was right here in South Lake Tahoe, watching you guys. And now the guys and I are opening up for you. The same place. It's just like, give me goosies. It's so like full circle moment and so surreal. It's so cool. But no, Sam's just been a big supporter with everything. And just, we keep in touch about all the inner workings and plans that I have for the band and everything.
Yeah.
And he's always like, Dino, if everyone's giving you shit, you tell him to, I'll give him a call and tell him what's up.
I can
And-
literally hear him saying
Oh,
that.
yeah, 100%, and I said, okay, if I need it, I'm going to do it on my own, but if I need you, I'll call you, so
That's
cool. It
That's
is
really
nice.
rad. That's
Yeah.
really rad. Speaking of future plans, like let's just manifest some shit.
Yeah,
let's,
cool.
let's put some stuff out in the
Cool.
universe. Okay, you're gonna go on a world tour.
There you go.
Who's it with? Like, what's the dream
Dave,
scenario?
come on, Dave.
David, what
Come on,
is it
Dave.
for
I'm, like,
you?
conjuring
Don't
up.
film me.
Yeah,
now.
conjure it up, manifest it.
I've talked too much.
No, David, he's
Going on a-
shy in the corner.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm like, what do I say?
Dave's been thinking this whole interview about the band. This is coming.
I did. No, we're gonna open up for Metallica. on the
Oh,
road.
wow.
World tour.
I'll give it to you. Wolfgang Van Halen and Greta Van Fleet.
Woof.
you
That's
go.
a hell of a lineup.
Boom.
Ooh, I was gonna
Dirty
s-
Honey is another one. I mean, that one to me feels so
they
obvious
should
and
do-
possible and easy and like right there. What
I was just thinking, okay, was it Young Guns tour with Mammoth
Yeah.
and Dirty Honey
Dirty
a couple
Honey.
years ago? I
Yeah,
think you
you
should
guys
bring
should
that
be
back.
on
Young
that.
Guns 2.
Young
Yeah,
Guns 2.
Young
the
Guns
sequel.
too. Yeah,
The sequel, yes, that'd be awesome.
Young Guns.
I was just gonna say the Younger Guns.
Yeah,
You took the words out of
Younger
my mouth.
Guns.
Because that to me, I mean that just makes so much sense. That's like, how do you not do that kind of tour?
Right,
You guys just fit right in. Have you met any of those guys? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Aftershock too. They need to play Aftershock hometown
We're
show for
working on
them.
that.
Yes.
We're working on that, but it does need to happen. Have you met with any of those bands at all? Do you know any of those? Never played with them? None of that.
No, nothing. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We've seen Dirty Honey a couple of times. They're amazing, phenomenal, But no, haven't gotten a chance to say hey, or, it'll happen. It'll happen.
All right, if you're listening,
Yeah. Come on, John
make sure I
Nato.
know, right? You gotta.
Come on, John
eyeball it.
Nato. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get it going, yeah.
No, I mean, I think energetically, it obviously sonically it works, but I think energetically too, because that's one of the things that is really impressive. It's one thing to hear you guys But to see you on stage, it's like you jump out of a cannon.
That's what you got to do. It's the high energy rock and roll. You got to bring it.
Yeah. Which you're the obvious one because you're the front man and you've got all that energy. But like every single player in this band, like that was one thing that actually Lamont noticed when you played last December at Christmas. He was like, they're all really great. Like all the players are great. Oh, yeah. Again, that's not a given.
No, and like and we're the thing about us too. I think another reason why we're probably so into our craft and so good is like none of us we're not partiers. It's all about the music. Yeah. With Red Voodoo and with us and everything. Yeah. And we're musicians. We're just it's all about the music and
we're not trying to be rock stars. We're trying to be musicians.
No, right? Exactly.
Aren't you noticing that a lot, Huey? When we talk to do interviews with rock stars, it's a lot healthier environment now. It used to be all sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and now it's like, no, I do yoga and I meditate. And I take a nap before I hit the stage. Like seriously, that's what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like a lot of bands, are really focused on the strategy and realize to be a successful band, there's a lot of things you need to do to accomplish. Yeah, I mean, writing music, playing the music is like 1/4 of the things that you got to, be creative. Think of like artwork and, touring, promoting yourself, which I got to say, your guys' social media game is amazing. Follow you guys on Instagram, just all the cool stuff, all the little short video clips you guys get to post all the time. It's just awesome. And I like the captions. If you like this band, you'll like us. And
it's just also, people get mad, it's like, I know we don't sound like, whoever we put there or whatever, not fully, we're not like.
Yeah, but inspired by.
But inspired by, exactly. Yeah. So no, it's really cool, and it's like.
And even if they're pissed off, engagement.
Thank you. So, thank you so much.
You're not dumb. That's why I'm like, bring on the haters.
Bring on the haters. Yeah.
Whatever. Get in a fight in my comments.
I'm like. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's great. I mean, for an independent, band, it's what you got to do. You got to be your own label until someone big enough goes, oh, they could do it without us. Oh, we want them now.
And that's how it works.
And that's how it works. And I think when we were kids, we were like, we're good. We got connections. We got to get signed now. And then, but as we've grown up, and we realized, hey, this is going to take. It's not like an overnight success. There's this great artist, Chapel Roan, that I really love, and she just played at Outside Lands, and she's huge now.
Biggest Outside Lands, biggest Lollapalooza crowd ever in history.
Exactly. Yeah. And it took her 10 years to get where she's at.
Exactly. But everybody thinks she was an overnight success.
Exactly.
That's the funny thing.
Because, you find, a band that you've only known for 2 years and you're like, whoa, how are they getting so big? Like, they're climbing. No, there's the 7 or 8 years that they were working their, asses off. Yeah. To get there.
That's how Blackberry Smoke was. Whenever I found them, I was like, where'd these guys come from? Right. And they had been living on a bus touring like 200 dates a year for the better part of 15, 18, 20 years. Yeah. And they felt like they made it when they got enough money to add a keyboardist. Right. They're like, that's it for us. We're good. Like,
right. Got a
boom,
keyboardist.
we hit it. And you guys should be
when
playing
we get
with
a
them
keyboardist,
too.
then we'll be like, yep, we made it.
That's how you know.
That's how you know. That's the moment. Well, it's funny. I really do truly feel like I've kind of become a band aunt for you guys. Like I look at you and I'm like, oh, they're like my little babies. That's awesome. So in that nature, with that thought, I'm going to tell you things that make me proud about you. Number one, you're freaking talented. Number two, you're super duper engaged and you're not afraid to work really, really hard. And number three, you have the right perspective, because I think a lot of bands in your position that would have those connections with a rock star like Sammy Hagar would feel entitled to play this, that, or the other thing, or go on this tour or whatever. The fact that you said what you said was like, no, we need to earn it. That will get you everywhere.
Yeah, and truth be told, it wasn't always like that. We were
of course.
16 to 17-year-old
Of course.
kids,
Little shitheads, I get it.
Right, no, it's the truth. It's the truth, but I think, it's all growth. It's all
with
learning.
Age comes wisdom.
Right, exactly.
And a little bit of patience.
Now. Yes.
And understanding of how this whole industry works.
Yep. And we're still really, young in this industry. Yeah. And we've thank God we've gone through some shit, even younger, so we learned from that, So it's really cool. But we're super stoked about it. We got the debut EP out now. We just did self-titled,
Yep. Smart.
It's simple.
Yep.
Just see the logo. That's who we are. That's what it is. But we really haven't got to talk about like the inner makings of the record, because I feel we're not talking about it. Yeah. Without Dave here. So it was
Dave, you're on.
Dave, you're on. So yeah, you want to talk about some songs or something? Or
What's the song, man? What's your favorite song?
my favorite song?
We'll put you on the spot.
Right? Put it back on you.
always on the
He just
spot.
ping-ponged right back to
he
you.
reverse Uno me.
Or
He
what's your
did.
favorite song that you wrote for the EP?
Oh, I would say Style 100%. That one's
Style has
Let's
so much
start there.
swagger.
Let's start there. I mean, that's like a 70s kind of feel, rock vibe.
Really fun to record too.
Really, that was really fun to record.
Yeah.
We had enough money for only 7 days in the studio to get 5 songs mixed, mastered, saved up.
Oh my god!
And actually, Guy Fieri paid for that record. I will say, Guy Fieri did pay.
Did
for
he?
it.
I didn't realize that.
So we played it. We played a private party.
I was gonna ask, is that the
Hot Monk Tavern,
Yeah.
in Sebastopol.
Great
for all the
venue,
viewers.
yeah.
Yeah, super cool venue. And yeah, Guy Fieri hired us with Sammy for his birthday, his 55th birthday. So it was like an 80s costume party. And it was cool. We were walking around, and Sammy on stage was like, "Hey, there's some guy that looks like Lars Ulrich here." And we're like, "What?" And then it was Lars.
Lars is in the corner.
Lars is watching us play heavy metal on stage. It was
Holy.
like a fever dream, dude.
Seriously.
Lars, yeah,
They're like the Forrest Gump of rock. Like all these
know.
cool opportunities, or little things you guys walk
it's
into.
wild.
Yeah,
Really?
it's awesome.
Forrest Gump.
the Forrest Gump of rock.
He means that with
Hopefully-
all the love
yeah,
and
oh,
respect
of
in his heart,
course.
by the way.
Hopefully- wait,
it's not one of the
hopefully-
best movies of all time.
I was gonna. Hopefully, you know the reference.
Yes, of course. No, I know the
Okay.
reference.
Okay,
I know
good.
the
All
reference.
right, that's good.
You're like,
Our
We haven't
knowledge-
totally outdated ourselves yet.
right, no.
It's okay.
I can give you more early '90s references.
Maybe I just
how many I
now
know.
I'm a great aunt. I'm not an auntie.
Now he's
I'm
a
the,
great aunt.
I'm the great auntie of the
Some
band.
Friends knowledge. Where were we? Oh yeah, so
Lars. Yeah.
Lars, yeah, Lars, and he was really cool. And
Did
stuff,
you
and-
get to talk to him or chat with him at all?
Yeah,
or?
that was I was pretty intimidated by Lars because I knew he's like the dude in Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
he's like the head
Yeah,
honcho.
you can almost feel the presence just.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Just from knowing what you know about Metallica, you can
Totally.
almost feel it coming off of him.
I really hate to ruin his reputation right now, but I'm gonna. He's so nice.
Oh,
Like we've had several interactions with him,
That is-
and he. I
does he
mean,
live here in San Francisco?
in the North Bay,
Oh, North Bay.
but he sold a house recently, and then he bought somewhere.
But he is technically the only member that still lives.
only
out.
yeah, only
lives
lives
here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they all
Gotcha.
have.
Kurt,
have-
yeah, Hawaii, Robert's, Southern
SoCal.
California, and James, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they're all here frequently. But no, he's great. But I understand what you mean about like the presence. There is like
and
a,
it was like a party too, so he
Yeah.
was talking to many.
yeah,
people, and they're
yeah.
But no, we spoke for a little bit, and he was so super.
That's
nice.
so cool. Like add it to the resume. Lars watched our show.
Right, Lars watched the show. Yeah. So no, so with with Guy, from that show,
Yeah.
from our payment, it really funded the records. That was really cool. And I got to talk to a guy a couple days ago and just say, hey man, here's the care package, boom, that's for you. And he didn't know that, he had no clue,
Right.
He
Gotcha.
was so wasted.
Okay.
No.
He was so wasted. I would
But
hope
he
it
was
was
like
his big birthday.
Oh, of course. He was like, hey man, use this for music, and he was like, use it for music. Don't go
you
out.
did.
Of course we did. Yeah, of course.
And you did, which is
And,
so great.
But no, it was cool. We had some of the songs we've had since 2020 for the 5-song EP. Others were All Night Long and Style were pretty new.
Oh, okay.
New songs. So we just kind of.
Are you writing as a group, or are you writing with other people coming in, or like who does what?
It's pretty much just like the four of us.
Just
Yeah,
the 4 of
that's
us.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
we take our songwriting very seriously
Yes.
because we like the process of the songwriting and just the final product. Hearing everything put together just gives us good ideas.
Yeah.
For our influences moving forward.
Yeah, it's magic. I mean, the
Yeah,
fact that you can take something that did not create before,
No, right.
and all of a sudden it's tangible. You can hear it, see it, feel it.
Yeah,
I mean,
just pick
that's
up a guitar, kind of hone into this universal energy, and
Yeah.
create something, and then you bring it to your other buddies, and then you create a magic together.
Yeah.
I love how Damon's over there. He's quiet, and then all of a sudden he throws in universal energy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I've just been waiting over here, like bam.
That's why we keep him around.
He's the lightning that just comes in and
Oh, yeah.
strikes.
He is, man. He is.
I love it. So tell everybody where to get the EP and all of that stuff, and where you hang out, where you
So-
want to connect, and yada yada yada.
Yeah. So there we go. Here's my spiel.
Here's
I gotta look at the camera for this one.
yeah,
Is this the right
exactly.
camera? Anyways,
It's a commercial. Hit it, Dina.
Right, all right. So everything Red Voodoo at redvoodoo.com, Instagram Red Voodoo Band, Facebook Red Voodoo, TikTok Red Voodoo, all things Red Voodoo all the time, just for you.
I love it.
We got some T-shirts, stickers, all that stuff on there if you want to support us, or just go follow us. Whatever you want to do, it's all cool with us.
I was gonna say everything helps, right? A band.
It does. I mean,
Yeah.
it really does.
Listening to the music in the streams.
Just coming to our shows.
Come to the shows, buy merch.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
All of it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, we have to end their interview with our favorite question.
Yes.
We actually, before you walked in, this is a true story. Letting everybody behind the curtain right now. Before you walked in, we just interviewed Chris Shiflett of the Foo Fighters. So it was Foo Fighters and then you guys. What?
So rad.
He just answered this question. It'll be interesting.
All right,
to
David,
see
you
what
answer this first.
What you guys and now this is an old reference. I'm going back to Great Aunt here. Have you ever seen the movie Almost Famous?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that
Okay.
movie.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Okay. I'm not that old. So in the last frame, you may remember, in the last frame of that movie, the question is asked, "What do you love about music?"
That's such a loaded question.
It is, and the pause is part of the answer because we know it sounds like a simple question, but it's really heavy, and we've gotten the greatest answers.
Oh man,
There's a lot of it, a lot of different elements, especially as somebody like us. We all play different instruments, so we listen to pretty much everything in the song. So I don't know. I really feel like the thing I love the most about music is the way everything plays with each other.
Yeah.
It interacts with itself.
that's cool.
How do we never get the same answer twice?
It's amazing. Like
How is that possible? We've been asking this question for a better part of a decade.
That is so cool.
You might need to hire someone just to chop up every answer and make a
Absolutely.
huge
That would be really
collage.
Because we have years and a million interviews with all kinds of answers. I mean, we've gotten like rings of a tree and like we've gotten all kinds of really interesting stuff. What about you?
I think it's a universal language
Yeah.
that everyone speaks,
Yep.
everyone understands, that when you're having, when you're having a bad day, it just makes it all better.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it's something that, you can put all the bullshit of the world aside,
100%.
I think that's really important. Like when somebody's at your show, standing there for an hour, they're not thinking about like who is voting for what.
Exactly.
Like none of
all
it matters.
removed. Yeah.
It just goes away.
And if we made them feel better or feel good or feel happy for that
Escape.
hour, 2 hour, whatever, then we did our job.
Yep.
That's it. Right there.
We're gonna make that edit one day. We're gonna put all those answers
that'd be
together,
so
and it'll be an ultimate inspiring podcast. Well, boys, thank you for being here. This was
Thank you so much for having us.
freaking legendary.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
And when you're huge and famous, which is gonna come in about 5 minutes,
be back.
make sure that
Right
you
away.
come back and see it. You're a great aunt and you're a great uncle.
Hell yes.
We'll always be here for you.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
What's that from again?
Yeah, right. What was that again? All right, so we're going to end the interview. We actually, again, behind the curtain, we already had them perform with the magic of editing.
Yes.
We will go ahead and do Style with Red Voodoo. Thank you guys for being here. We love you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Just one look, now I'm hooked, honey. What do you want me to do? Yeah, it's an attraction. You're the queen of satisfaction. Straight out of a magazine, walking in those bare bottom jeans. She's got style, got style. She wears it well. She's got style, got style. Oh, I can tell she's got moves, driving me wild. Baby's got style. I know what you want, playing hard to get, baby, but I'm not backing down. Oh no, not yet. Oh, driving me wild. She's got style, style. She wears. She's got style. Oh, I can tell she's got style. She wears it well, oh, so well. She's got style, baby, got style. I can tell she's got moves, driving me wild, baby. My baby's got style, oh yeah. Baby's got style, driving me wild. Oh, baby's got style.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.